Now, let's come to the SIF part we have explained. Now we are talking about our fund and fund which is running. This is the first fund of fund product. We are very simple like trying to explain you how income plus product, arbitrage active product sort of thing will be. There is an active product is very important from setting. Now, let's understand this period, how well your income tax point of view, the tax efficiency is the crux of this product. Okay. When as a saving, if you're looking from the bank FD, recurring, or any sort of corporate deposits or the company deposit you're talking about, or any structure you talk about, they lack the tax efficiency. And that makes this product very interesting. So if you're talking about quant income plus arbitrage, active fund of fund gives us a huge benefit. Now, what is important to understand? Let's be clear in terms of target audience, whom we are targeting. This is obviously product, if I have to put in a very simple manner, is arbitrage plus product. Okay. If I have to put in another simple manner, anybody who is invested in bank saving accounts, okay, bank deposit, recurring deposit, FDs, okay, a corporate FDs, or any fixed income oriented product, a quant income plus arbitrage product has potential to outperform these products decisively purely on the tax efficiency. And if we can manage it actively very well, then additional alpha can come into picture. So this is a very clear tax arbitrage opportunity available through this route. And that's the reason it's gaining momentum. Now, we are just trying to give you a perspective how whatever, let's say you have X amount of money which you are deployed in the traditional saving. Now, if you switch to quant income plus, how your post-tax return thing, what you're retaining post-tax is significantly higher. And this is the simple arithmetic if I have to talk about. If you're putting a traditional saving, let's say for time being theoretical thing that returns are similar, 7%. So if you have a 30% slab structure, this is again just for my academic exercise, hypothetical example, trying to explain you, okay, you have to pay a tax. So take home returns are 4.95%. But if you put money in the quant income plus arbitrage active fund of fund, you have potential to take 6.15%. Okay, which is significantly higher than what you get through traditional route. So this is a simple maths. The complex arithmetic of this calculation is shared in next few slides. And just want to simplicity sake is a unique opportunity. Now let's understand the idea behind this fund. Okay, when you talk about quant income plus arbitrage fund, what is the thesis behind? So we have launched our first FOF with a new logo, and we are saying egg fund options the name. So it's a perfect description that is a one fund, but we have multiple options to optimize. Okay. So very simple thesis we are bringing out here, how we can blend of debt as arbitrage funds. We can have talking about stability, consistent income through the debt route, and the arbitrage, you're talking about tax efficient opportunity and agility looking at. And so question comes, it's meant for whom? It's meant for real retail investor also. Okay. Who have minimum investment horizon of 2 years perspective. They can generate superior returns over their current FD in the bank or the saving account or the recurring accounts. Okay. Or the company deposit where HNI perspective is enhances their post-tax return. And similarly, even the corporate sides, the tax efficient avenues is there for their surplus fund. So corporates can optimize, HNIs can look into, and real retail investor can also participate. So it's a product which is suitable for all the categories of the market. And what is we should very clear as a distributor, you have to target largely retail customer who are switching, who wants to switch money and ideally should be switching from bank FD and the company deposit to this type of product because Quant Income Plus gives you a better tax efficiency. Now, various ways of explaining how we can go up to 0 to 60% out here in the debt oriented mutual fund, we can go up to 40 to 100% on the arbitrage side. How dynamic allocation. So it's a going to be very interesting and very active product. When I say it could be arbitrage plus product, it could be saving bank plus product. If we are able to dynamically allocate, and then you have potential to have additional alpha also. So depending on the prevailing interest rate environment, based on our predictive analytics, how we look at the macro market, you can really capitalize this opportunity. So this is an important thing. Now, again, how you identify this macro environment is changing. You have to identify the relative opportunity. It's very important whether arbitrage is giving me more return or the debt scheme is giving more returns or particular debt product is giving more return than the arbitrage, then we can deploy there because the mutual fund we are exempt from tax perspective. So it's a great opinion and there's a positioning how we can combine these environment, how the changing macro environment, relative opportunity gives me suitable portfolio. That gives a unique blend in terms of truly active perspective. And the active framework we talk about is again just the explanation perspective, similar thesis to explain the same thesis in a different manner. Now we are trying to rebalancing what could be the rebalancing trigger, the macro perspective, duration perspective, lower duration perspective, some of the data points we have to highlight it out here. And what is important is that this fund of fund, the quant income plus arbitrage active fund of fund, will not allocate credit risk scheme. That's an important perspective you should know. We don't want to take a credit risk. We will be largely focused on the uh, smaller duration. We're not going to take a longer duration call because that's the risk profiling is very different. Now we can invest in any of the existing mutual fund schemes. Is a very important to understand. It could be quant scheme, it could be outside scheme also. So complete flexibility is there for money manager to implement these things. So if I have to really conclude how quant income plus arbitrage fund offer tax efficient, very dynamic and very disciplined. Okay. We have talked about this thesis. This is I'm not getting into detail how the taxation work, how the detailed calculation, the post-tax return. So we can go through the presentation. And we very nicely saying bank deposit kamata bhi hai. Here kamata bhi hai aur bachata bhi hai. Okay. That is very important to understand the tax efficiency perspective. Okay. So I'll just stop it here now.